Hey y'all, this is Tamara with Fresh and Fire Backyard Living. Welcome to our first garden tour. We were kind of waiting for the weather to cool off a little bit to do one, but I want to definitely go ahead and show y'all around before we switch over to the fall winter garden, show you what we've been doing, the projects we've been working on all summer. And excuse the noise, we got people cutting grass and the kids over in the pool next door, so we're gonna try to do this and hopefully you can hear me. So come on, let me show you around. This right here is basically our fire pit area. We've been working on this for probably 5 years now, but it's kind of a work in progress. We started with the grill over there, and I'll show y'all some pictures of that. Put the grill in, basically did all the cement ourselves, and this past last year we extended it to put the gravel all around, so it'll be a nice area for the chairs and everything. But it's kind of like a little labor of love that we finally finished last year. But and it right in the fire pit area, I decided to put our fruit trees, our kind of stone fruit. This is an apple tree right here. I can't remember which one this is. I think this is the Liberty. This is the Liberty apple, and this one over here is the Macintosh apple. We've had them in the ground for about 2 years now. I topped them so they wouldn't grow taller. Still need to trim them up a little bit, but it's been about 2 years now. Each tree produced a little small piece of fruit, but no major fruit production yet. So hopefully, from what I've heard, by year 3 we'll get something next year, so we'll see. But oh, and I forgot to add too, as far as them being potted, they are potted, but my husband cut the bottoms out of the pots so the tap roots could get some water, especially when I'm slacking and everything, trying to water them. But my husband cut the pots out of the bottom, and I got that tip from Lead Farmer 73. Shout out to Lead. That was the best tip ever. I took that and ran with it and pretty much cut the bottoms out of a lot of my fruit trees and the pots and everything, so the tap roots could get some water and basically settle themselves where they're at. We were still in the process of trying to find where we wanted to put them, but I think we pretty much, this is where they're gonna live. So you wanna come on down here. Now this one is a combination of a peach plum tree. It's not in the ground. I cannot remember, I don't even know if it had the name on the tag. But eventually we're gonna put that one in the ground as well. Still haven't decided where we're gonna put that one though. And so this right here is on down past the grill where you see Fire doing his thing, or the other stone fruit that we have. This right here is our nectarine tree. I don't think I got a name for this one. The labels had fallen off them. I think I got them on clearance at one of the big box stores, so it didn't matter with me. I got them anyway. But this is one, and this is the other one. They're doing great. Again, the bottoms are cut out of the pots. But the first 2 years, this is set year 2. So they've been doing pretty good this year. They took off, so hopefully next year. We've been getting a little bit of fruit off of them, but that last freeze right before the spring hit pretty much killed all the blooms off of it. So we didn't get any fruit off of them this year, but the first 2 years we got fruit off of them. So hopefully by next year we'll get a nice little harvest in. And right beside it, the Japanese beetles have decimated the leaves, but this is one of our cherry trees, and I believe this is called and the label isn't on it anymore, but a Montessori cherry tree. I never gotten any fruit off of that one. Actually, I have 2 of them. Hopefully next year I'll get something. If not, I'm concerned about getting rid of those. And as you can see, we kind of built a walkway to the fire pit all the way down to the end of the fence. We still have mulch from that tree that we cut down that y'all saw in the previous video of ours. Eventually we're gonna put a gazebo back there though. Right here we have my LSU purple fig that I got at Soil Family Expo this year. Shout out to Black's Tropical Homestead, but got a couple of pieces of fruit, got a little fig right there coming on. Still trying to decide where I'm gonna put this one as well. And right beside it here, the bottom is cut out of this pot as well. This is one of our pear trees. This is an Ayers pear, and right beside it is a Kaffir pear, I believe it is. This one's doing really well. It had some blooms on it this spring. They've been in the ground the same amount of time as the other ones. This one seems to get a little fire blight every year. Neither produced any fruit yet, so I don't know. I'm a little shaky about these. We're gonna see. I might replace them with something else that for this area will get enough fruit, get enough chill hours and bear fruit, so we'll see. Pear trees don't seem to do well in the south, so I don't know. We'll have to see. Now on behind you, as you go around and up, be careful, fire. This is what we've been working on. You can kind of see this summer has been the major project I've been doing. I put a lot of raised beds in. I wanted a little bit more growing space for flowers and a couple of little small fruit bushes. Right here, I brought these back from Michigan. These were our, now I'm having a brain fart trying to think of the name. I'll put it in the description. But I brought these little berry bushes back from Michigan. It's the only place I could find them. And planted some strawberries in there. And in the pots right over there, I have a couple of fig trees and a lot of weeds that I got from my grandmother's property. And I believe there's a peach tree in there. We got to find a place for those. And I did these, you can kind of come over here, built a little walkway and planted some other fig trees. I call this the fig lane, basically. So we have a mystery fig over here that I adopted that somebody just put out at my job. They had a garden area and they just kind of threw it out and I asked for it and they gave it to me. So this one I believe is a Bordello. I'll put the name in the description. And this one is a celestial. It's taken off. It has a little rust, but it produced a couple of figs early in the spring. So, but they're just getting established because I planted them over here, built this little walkway just this spring, and used fire rings and lined it with yard fabric, just trying to get a different look in the different areas. And these right here, they're starting to lose their leaves, but these are kiwi berries. They didn't produce any fruit for me this year, but hopefully by next year. They've only been in the ground this season, so they're starting to lose their leaves for the fall too. So we'll see what they're gonna do. These trees back here didn't really make it. I got some mint, and this is kind of my little staging area where I got the extra sandbags and dirt. I'm gonna be planting, and behind me, I gotta get this going, get this tree out of the way. I don't even remember what kind of tree this was. It was on clearance, so I decided to buy it, but it didn't make it. This is my compost bin. So my lovely husband got this for me, so I think I'm ready to use it. And beside it, I got some little cheapo compost bins to store leaves and everything, so I could put them in there along with all the wonderful mulch we still have and make my own compost. So I'm gonna be coming out with some videos to show y'all how I do that. So, all right, be careful. And this right here is another LSU purple fig, and from my understanding, it's a dwarf. I couldn't find too much information online, but that's my take on it. It's definitely not as big as the other one I bought, but I got this one in Savannah as well. That's really the only place I've seen LSU purples or any type of LSU. Don't really find them in Georgia. I'm not sure why. But now if you come over here, you can see, and you've probably seen this in a previous video. This is the berry tunnel. This is where I keep all my blueberry and blackberry bushes housed. Right now I'm still putting some mulch down. That's why that pot is in there like that. Still trying to put some mulch down and get everything straight in there for the upcoming fall season. Eventually I'm going to move my raspberry bushes. I have a white raspberry and a red raspberry. I'm going to take 2 of the blackberries out that aren't doing too well and put those in there and see how they do. And right here we have my newest blueberry bushes. I believe these are, what kind are these? Facium? I don't have my glasses on. But they're high bush blueberries. I just put those in the ground this season and planted them beside some balsams. I believe y'all saw those in the previous video I had as well. And a couple of little herbs and everything. You can come on down, and this is the main garden areas. This right here is the trellis, and where my beans were, they've pretty much gone kaput. They don't really like the 90-degree heat, so they did as much as they could. So I'm probably gonna try to plant some more beans. I believe these were the rattlesnake beans, and these were the blue lake. But yeah, they don't like that heat too much, at least here. So I'm gonna try to plant those again. I thought I had some wing beans in here, but they never took off. So we're gonna try to do some more beans for the season. These are, we've had a great crop out of the noodle beans. These right here with the speckles, or the Thai noodle beans. And these over here, actually, they're going a little crazy. They're trying to reach over to the tomatoes. These are the red noodle beans. We've had tons of these all summer. If you want a good crop, plant some red noodle beans. They will keep on going and going and going. So I just picked them, and I'm really should come out here and pick them all again. In this bed right here, where they're at, I've had, surprise, surprise, kale growing all season. I knew I had some seeds left over here, and I threw some more down, and they took off. So red Russian kale will still grow in the summer. This area gets some afternoon shade, and so I think that really helped it. And also I have a bug zapper here. So for a long time, I think they got protected from the cabbage moths. They're starting to get attacked now though. I think the cabbage moths are back and in full force because they're starting to get attacked. But I still get a nice little crop of kale off of these. So I'm gonna cut them all back, probably throw some more seeds in here. We have to do a new raised bed like we did on the other areas that I'm about to show you, because this one's old and falling apart. But once I get the new raised bed in here, we're gonna put some more kale seeds and put some more bean seeds and see what it'll do. And on in the back, you'll see the corn that we actually had success with planting this year, along with sweet potatoes. Now that was supposed to be the three sisters back there. Some critter came and ate my squash and my beans that I had planted back there. So, but I'm thinking that the beans that were planted close enough to the corn where they were able to take off and utilize some of that nitrogen since it was so close. And I kind of added some supplemental nitrogen. I believe I used liquid seaweed back there, so the potatoes could get the phosphate and the corn could get some nitrogen. So, but so far so good. And on over, you'll see that we have a whole bunch of tomato plants in the new raised bed. This is one of the projects we did this summer, along with the walkway that's in front of it. This walkway there, where you get to it, we put in about 3 years ago. I definitely love the fact that we did this. It keeps me out of the grass. I do not want to run up on a snake or anything like that. So I insisted on having walkways in between my raised beds. Best idea ever. So I love it. Sometimes I have to put a little pad down if I want to get down on my knees or whatever, but it's definitely worth putting it down and all the sweat and everything that goes behind that. But our tomatoes are still going strong. Since we were doing house construction, I had to plant them late, so I immediately added a shade cloth so they wouldn't get burned up in the summertime sun. And they're just now starting to get diseased a little bit here and there. Since it's time to switch over, I'm not gonna, try to cut it off too much. Keep the hornworms. We got attacked by hornworms because I forgot to plant some basil. But I'm not gonna fight too hard for stuff. We got some big ones coming on. I believe this is the Black Beauty. I got some yellow pear in there, and I believe these are the Roselli. But yeah, I'm not gonna try to fight too much. And I planted some zinnias all around them to attract the pollinators. And I believe these in the front that are just very prolific and kind of crazy are it's an artisan mix. I cannot remember which one, but it pretty much, they grow like a weed, so they're going kind of crazy. But yeah, the tomatoes are still doing really well. So, and in front of it, we have the Roselli and some more zinnias, and some cosmos that I planted late, and some, this is some cranberry hibiscus, and this is the Thai hibiscus back here. What were those? Gumfrina. The Gumfrinas in front of them, they're finally starting to take off. And I believe this is a random sunflower that I'm not sure where it came from, but it seems to be happy here, so we're leaving it. And on the first bed that I got planted this summer before all the construction started is doing amazing. Again, I threw some turnip green seeds down there, and we've had turnip green seeds all summer. So if you plant greens under something in the summer, you might very well have greens, so try it. They're just now starting to get attacked by the cabbage moths as well. So I'm probably gonna cut the older plants back and just throw some more seeds down there. Since they're shaded, they'll do just fine. But the reason they're doing so good is because of the Roselli, Thai hibiscus, whatever you want to call it. It goes by different names, but they're almost doing too well. I should have not planted so many in the bed, but I love how it looks. It's just spilling over with beauty. The lizards love it, the birds love it, and the zinnias were going crazy. Now they're starting to die off, so I gotta gather these seeds. But it's doing really well, so if you can get close in there, you'll see what happens every year. Once the days get shorter and the weather starts getting cooler, it starts forming calyxes, and this is what you use for the tea. You'll let that mature a little bit more, then cut them off, break them up, dry them, and put them in your tea. So it looks like we're gonna have a garden full of them, so I'm excited about that. So if you want to come on down here, these are the balsams that I showed you earlier. They're finally starting to set seed and probably, take their last breath of the season. They've been going strong through the 90-degree heat all summer. So I'm gonna harvest these seeds, and from my understanding, you can eat these. In other countries, they eat these. So I'm gonna do some research and figure out exactly how to do that, because I wanna know what they taste like. Right here we have a banana pepper plant that needs some water desperately, but it's been going all summer doing good. We have another pepper plant. I believe this is a jalapeno that's starting to produce some fruit. Everything was kind of slow because I had to put it under the shade cloth. And my marigolds that I showed y'all in the earlier video, they've been going strong, but they're finally starting to take their last breath. So everything's kind of dry and needs water, but yeah, it's been going strong all summer. Now here behind the balsams are my Okinawan okra. They're starting to produce. Gotta come out here and pick some of these, but they're starting to produce and give us some okra, so I'm happy about that. Now right here are the pineapple fajoas that we picked up in Florida. Gotta put those in the ground, but they're doing good. I gotta give them some water. Everything needs water out here right now. So if you want to come on back, we got peppers in here along with the tomato bed that I put around the edges. but everything's doing fairly good so far. Some more okra. And as you can see under here, we have even more okra that's coming through. Now the cucumber, never have any good luck with cucumber in this humidity. And cucumber beetles attack like something terrible. So we're gonna take all that down and try to do it one more time. I've never done it at the end of the season, so I'm gonna see what we can do with that and maybe have some success with some cucumbers. We got a few of them though. We got a few. And on over here is the great asparagus experiment that I was telling y'all about. They're doing good. Form some ferns and everything. So we're gonna see what's going on with them. But yeah, those are doing good so far. And we got some strawberries and another asparagus in the pot with that. And as you come on over, this is one of our olive trees. Can't remember the name, I'll put it in the description. But that's been doing good so far. We got fruit off of it last year, but didn't get any fruit off of it this year, I think because of that freeze. It just kind of set everything back. Beside it is a kumquat tree. Is this a miwa? I believe this is a miwa kumquat. It's got a couple of fruit on it. And this, beside it is a lime tree. What is the name of this lime tree? But basically you eat the leaves. You don't even have this for the limes or anything. I had to cut this back because the cold got it. We had a power outage right around Christmas when that deep freeze hit, and it really knocked everything back. So, but that's fine. It came back and it's giving me more leaves that we can use in our cooking, which I'll probably use tonight for stir fry. And behind that, or beside that, is the Florida little sunflowers that I showed you in a previous video, and banana plant. We got two of them from different vendors, and neither one of them are fruit bearing. So you win some, you lose some, but I love the way they look. I'm gonna keep them and try to keep them alive and just have them for the leaves and eventually get a banana tree. I don't eat bananas, but my family does, so we're gonna try to get some bananas going. And beside it are two avocado trees that a friend gifted me for helping them out. And not sure if they're ever gonna bear fruit, but I love the way they look. So I'm just gonna let them do their thing. And besides that, we have a mum that I've been overwintering and saving for the past couple of years. It's about to bloom in about another month or two. And on over underneath the deck, we have our little shade cove. That's a pot that I refurbished. It had a large crack in it, and I basically put some towel to seal up the cracks and, you know, add decoration to it. So added some flowers in there and everything, some shade plants. And this right here is the Gerber daisy that I showed y'all a little while back that I've been overwintering. I planted some sweet potato vines in there with it, and that's starting to take off. And right here we have our bay trees, and the miracle berries died, but they came back after that freeze, so I'm glad about that. And this over here is starting to take off. This is a passion fruit. So got to get all this potted, kind of waiting because we're gonna put basically more raised beds in this area. So over here, we have our, I believe, what was this, a Jamaican? I know I got these in Florida. I'm drawing a blank with these names, but I got this in Florida. These are two berry, I believe these are Jamaican berry bushes. I'll have to go back and check the name. And then we have our lemon tree. This is the Lisbon lemon, and this is a variegated lemon. And I believe this is the, which one is this one? Oh yeah, the Calamandan. And we have the Satsuma, the Miho Satsuma back there, the orange tree. Gotta feed all this stuff, it's and water it. But again, I'm waiting because in this area, in the area right over there, we're gonna put more raised beds and put them in the ground. This is our Meyer lemon that has a couple of lemons on it. It needs to get some feeding on that one too though. Now over here on the side of the house where we haven't put the gravel yet, we're still working our way over here. We have our herb garden. This kind of took a beating this year. I couldn't really pay too much attention to it because we had a lot of construction going on. But I got some lemon balm in there, oregano. I got some marshmallow root. We even have some echinacea, just different things. But I gotta add more and finish it on out. So now on up here are some additional raised beds that I put in this summer. Since they didn't match with the ones over there, I decided to put them on the side of the house. But I really wanted to have sunflowers. So I've planted myself a sunflower bed over here to go beside the other pineapple fajoas that I have in the ground. I just put these in the ground. I've had them for 2 years, but I just now decided where I wanted to put them in the ground this year. They're doing really well, but once this gets established and they start blooming every year, I know it's going to be so pretty. But I think I'm gonna keep on putting sunflowers over here. My mom loves them, our neighbor loves them, so I'm like, what better place to put them than over here on the side of the house? So as you can see, some are blooming right there. I had to wait till later until this side of the house got painted, so hopefully I'll get to see all of them come up and bloom before the cold weather hits. So. And here's the rose bush that I think y'all have seen in the previous video. It's still looking beat up and rough. We've trimmed it and it's still looking rough, but it's still producing these pretty long stem roses. So go figure. And on the side of the house, we have our pineapple guava. Some people call them fajoas. They're just now becoming popular in the States, but they're more popular in other countries, like I believe Australia, New Zealand, stuff like that. But we're finally able to get them here in the States, but they're awesome. But yeah, this one on the end and then that one on the far end I got in Florida, and the ones in the middle I ordered online. It was just little sticks, but they're awesome. So these are my pride and joy. So they gave me fruit not last year but the year before. Last year I had dieback because of that darn freeze in December, so gotta come and trim them up and feed them. Since it's the end of the season, I've been kind of neglecting them because I've had other things to do, but they're awesome, and they make pretty shrubs, and eventually hopefully I'll get a whole bush full of fruit. So okay, now if you want to come over here, I'll show you what we have going on the other side of the deck. And here is the other olive tree to match the one we have on the other side. And this is the hibiscus that I've been overwintering for, 4 years now. It bloomed its head off last year, and then that cold snap in December got it. I didn't even think it would come back, but it came back, and I believe it's going to bloom for me. I hope, fingers crossed, before the cold hits. But either way, I'm glad it just came back. Now this is another one that got knocked back. It's a pink guava. Had all of this in greenhouses, but that power outage got me because I didn't cover them up as well. So, but it's coming back. You can see here where I had to cut the main mother plant off, but it started sprouting back up, the side shoots and everything. This is a gardenia. It's looking unhappy. I'm not sure why, but I'm still gonna doctor on that and see what we can do with it. And behind it, you'll see, if you get close, you can see some berries on my mulberry. This is a Pakistani mulberry bush. This thing just keeps going. It's real sensitive to the cold, it seems like, though, so definitely have to put it up for the winter time. But as long as you keep it watered, it'll keep producing all summer for you. And on behind that, we have my new hibiscus, because I thought my other one had died. I got a new one from one of the big box stores. It's been putting out pretty blossoms all summer. So Yep, and these are the rest of these are, we got some more citrus trees growing. Doctoring on these for my mom. But yeah, that's pretty much our garden. We'll show you the deck as well, but that's pretty much the garden tour. I got a couple more plants up on the deck. I'll show you those. And this is where, after I've been working in the garden all day, I usually come up here and end my day. I got a couple of plants up here. This, and I'll put the name in the description, but this keeps going and going. It comes back every year. Eventually I got to put some flowers back in here. I had a couple of flowers going, but and you'll see this maybe in a previous video before you see this one. I got to get my fountain going, and I'm gonna have all type of succulents and sebums, I believe you call them. It gets kind of hot up here on the deck, so I decided to go ahead and just plant sebums, so because you know they have the moisture in the leaves, so the flowers don't really do well up here on the deck. Even though we had the pergola built and have umbrellas, well, one umbrella, it still gets kind of hot up here. So, and we have some little cypress trees and pots just to add some beautification up here, and you know, have the grill going and the umbrella. And so this is where pretty much we like to just kind of end our day if we've been working in the yard and just want to come out here and hang out. Now that we've got the deck done, this has been a work in progress all summer. We had it painted, built and painted this summer. So hopefully by next year we can just be kind of chilling out up here the whole time and working in the garden and in the yard and grilling when need be. So, but yeah, so this is our garden tour. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. This is Tamara with Fresh and Fire Backyard Living. Like, subscribe, share, and thank you for watching.